Welcome, sentient beings. I'm Shamika.
And I'm Jess, and we are Sci-Fi in real life.
And welcome to our June special episode. It's Pride Month, and we want to celebrate queer science fiction. There's so many ways to do this, from reading short stories, to watching films, to researching LGBTQIA plus themes in science fiction.
And in order to help you all out, we have curated a list of some great stories and resources in the video description below, so definitely check that out. And for today's special episode, we wanted to briefly shout out a very symbolic scene for the LGBTQIA plus community from SciFi.
Over the past few weeks, Star Trek Beyond has received a lot of attention, but now the next installment in the franchise is receiving some criticism after confirming its first gay character, Mr. Sulu, but omitting a romantic kiss between Sulu and husband from the film. Actor John Cho, who plays Mr. Sulu, recently stated the following in an interview: "I'm actually proud of that scene because it was pretty tough. Unfortunately, fans won't get to see the scene that made John Cho so proud and that highlights the importance of representation on screen."
In the movie Star Trek Beyond, which premiered in 2016, the character Sulu, played by John Cho, had a kiss scene with his character's partner, but the scene was later removed. Said by John Cho in an interview with Vulture, "There was a kiss that I think is not there anymore. It wasn't like a makeout session. We're at the airport with our daughter. It was a welcome home kiss. I'm actually proud of that scene because it was pretty tough." This removed scene has bewildered Star Trek fans, as the organization has typically been known for being very progressive in their films and their TV shows, including airing the first interracial kiss ever on television back in 1968.
But I'm not afraid. I am not afraid.
And here's another quote by John Cho from his interview with Vulture about some of his concerns on being an openly gay Sulu. Quote, "My primary concern was that I was wondering how George Takei would feel," who was the initial Sulu character, "because he's a gay actor that played a straight part and crafted a straight character. I didn't want him to feel that we had reduced him to his sexuality by sort of borrowing this bit, if you will, from his life, you know? And his opinion was important to me. And I would have rather had him support the decision than not, so I wanted to reach out to him. I was concerned also that there might be Asian American backlash. There's been this feminization of Asian men, so I thought this might be seen as continuing that lineage, which I disagree with personally, but I brought it up. I was also concerned, scientifically speaking, that we're in an alternate universe, but I'm assuming that Sulu is the same genetic Sulu in both timelines, and I thought we might be implying that sexual orientation was a choice." End quote.
So we appreciate the fact that so much of that, so much thought and intentionality went into that position and that characterization for John Cho. Now, looking now at science fiction and LGBTQIA plus themes, while science fiction has been dominated by white male heterosexual authors and characters, Nicola Griffith points out that minorities, including those in the LGBTQIA plus community, find themselves, quote, identifying strongly with the outsider status of mutants, aliens, and characters who lead hidden or double lives in science fiction, end quote. Through seeing ourselves in such characters, outsiders can envision ways to break down society's barriers to become inclusive and equitable spaces.
And as we have seen so much in our show, science fiction is an incredibly useful tool to view society and the world through a different lens. And these sci-fi stories that we've mentioned today, and also the ones that are in the description below, are helping pave the way towards the equitable and accepting future that we all hope to see.
Absolutely. So do dig into those links, get your summer reading list started with these great options, as well as films and TV shows to view and enjoy. And that'll wrap it up for today's episode.
And as you already probably know, at the end of every episode, we like to ask a trivia question that is related to our sci-fi story. If you think you know the answer, feel free to put it in a comment below or send it to us in a tweet. So our trivia question for our June special is, what is Sulu's primary position on the USS Enterprise? And of course, happy Pride Month, everyone.
Indeed. If you liked today's episode, feel free to click that like button, subscribe button, and share our channels with your friends.
And we will see you next time on Sci-Fi in Real Life.
Good night and good luck, humanity.